Oil is fresh off its biggest quarterly advance since early 2022, a rally supported by production curbs in both Saudi Arabia and Russia, alongside stronger than expected demand. Today, ministers and oil industry chiefs are gathering in Abu Dhabi for the biggest energy conference in the Middle East in advance of the latest OPEC JMMC meeting on Wednesday. Will there be further policy decisions made? How might that affect the price of oil? Let's bring in somebody who knows, Helima Croft, Global Head of Commodity Strategy at RBC Capital Markets. Helima, thank you so much for being with us. In many ways, these are characters that you were already speaking with when you were in Calgary during the big energy conference. But what do you think is going to be done here? Are those that are exposed to oil content with where prices are right now?
I mean, certainly I think the Biden administration has real concerns about where prices are now. The question is, what levers do they have to pull, or can they pull, to bring some relief for U.S. consumers? Now, one thing I'd be watching is, do we potentially get a restart of this ITP pipeline, this Northern Iraq pipeline that has been shut for a multi-month period? Potentially a couple 100,000 barrels coming back online, but Iraq is subject to OPEC quota. So that's some relief potentially, but the bigger story is, do you get some OPEC action that brings more barrels onto the market? I think the Saudis are going to sit tight for now, but they did say they review it every month and they can change policy in either direction.
Okay, I want to unpack this bit by bit. First, on the U.S., there's a thought that they don't actually have that many levers because they already sort of front run this through releasing from their strategic petroleum reserve.
Now, I mean, that is really a challenge to the administration. I mean, the SPR has essentially been drawn down by 45% since 2020. So the question is, can they go back to that well? I mean, earlier this year, remember, they talked about being in the buyback mode for the SPR. They've paused that, but I don't think they have another mega release coming from the SPR. So the question is, can you get more barrels from, again, ITP, this pipeline that has been shut in northern Iraq? Can you potentially get some more Venezuelan barrels back? But the thing is, they have to hold elections first in Venezuela before you can do major sanctions relief, and that's not happening until next year. I think what's really important is there is this U.S.-Saudi diplomatic push that is going on to have this sort of mega reset. Would energy be part of a diplomatic deal? I think that is the big prize for the Biden administration. Now, there is an OPEC meeting this week. It is a policy meeting. It's not a full ministerial meeting. It's just basically the leaders of OPEC Plus. So I'm not anticipating any major changes. The full meeting will be happening at the end of November.
So what do you think in terms of price with all of those things? Is 90 just a pit stop to 100?
I mean, certainly we see a path and momentum to 100 Brent. I mean, what is on the other side of the ledger? You know, you do have still concerns about rate hikes, about recession, about China. So again, we certainly see, you know, room to move to 100, but those are the other things that'll sort of be weighing on oil. And certainly that comes into the decision-making process of the Saudi oil minister in Calgary. He specifically said he's looking to see Chinese demand data, European, industrial demand data, and he's looking at global central bank action when he thinks about the criteria for changing course on his unilateral million barrel a day production cut.
But you have to assume that, probably the big rally in crude is behind us, even if we make this march to $100. I mean, in this sort of tepid global environment, how sustainable is it to have oil at these prices? Because certainly growth is not supportive of that.
I love this question because what we've seen this year, particularly when it comes to China, remember there was almost a sum of all fears earlier in the summer that you were going to have very little growth out of China based on the broader macroeconomic data. We have seen a divergence between what we see in terms of Chinese demand, which has actually held up well, and the broader economic data. I mean, if you look at the June numbers, again, at the peak of concern about China, they had, multi-year highs in terms of purchases. And so I do think demand for oil has held up better than the story on the broader economy. And you have incredible supply discipline when it comes to OPEC. Earlier in the summer, again, there was this view that perhaps there'd be this rift between Saudi and Russia because Russia was sending so many cargoes to Asia, the main market for Saudi. And yet OPEC unity is held. And they've been very, very disciplined with these production cuts. So again, that is the path to where we are now. We're not seeing a major fall off in demand. Now, certainly broader macro worries can influence trading, but it looks like the fundamental story remains very constructive for oil.
What about the U.S. production side and the discipline there? When you're speaking with energy executives, they often say, the cure for higher oil prices is higher oil prices, because there's a temptation, right, to say, okay, let's capture this, turn on the spigots.
I mean, U.S. production has been strong this year. The question is there going to be, further gangbuster growth? And so, I mean, again, you've had, the Biden administration, whenever they are confronted with the charge that they have not supported the U.S. oil and gas industry, they point to strong U.S. production this year. But again, the U.S. cannot carry this market in the face of, again, very strong OPEC discipline and what we're seeing in terms of demand. So, yes, the U.S. story has been, from the White House perspective, relatively strong U.S. production growth this year. But on the other side of that, you've had tremendous OPEC discipline. And again, demand has outperformed the consensus expectations from earlier this year.
And no sense from OPEC, particularly Saudi Arabia, that they're getting tired of shouldering most of the curbs. It really is just Saudi, and that they'd like to see it socialized a little bit more amongst the group?
Well, again, I think that this is, you look at the OPEC Plus decision and you look at the Saudi decision, and for now, they got a lot of work done at that June meeting. I think they are very comfortable with the production policy for the next year, for 24. You don't hear a lot of grumbling about, disunity within OPEC Plus at this stage. But the Saudis, I think, are very focused on, they'll do whatever is necessary to bring this market back into balance. Like, I remember being at the July OPEC seminar, and His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz got up on stage and said, I understand that this is a show me market, not a tell me market. And so he was very focused on showing their resolve to market participants. But I would say, again, pay very close attention to this very serious diplomatic push with Washington trying to get this major comprehensive diplomatic deal done with Saudi Arabia. That would include Saudi recognizing Israel, which would include U.S. assistance for a civilian Saudi nuclear program, new U.S. security guarantees for the kingdom. And you have to believe that oil is part of this broader conversation between the two capitals.